Emperor. Thus succession of weak emperors was reflected in every field of administration. All the emperors after Aurangzeb were weaklings and therefore unable to meet the challenges, both internal and external. Bahadur Shah I (1702–1712) was too old to maintain the prestige of the empire, and he liked to appease all parties by profuse grants of titles and rewards. Due to his such attitude he was nicknamed Shah-i-Bekhabar, the headless king. Jahandar Shah 1712–13, the next in succession, was a wildly extravagant fool. Farrukh Shiar was a complete coward, while Muhammad Shah spent more of time in watching animal fights. Due to his addiction to wine and women, Muhammad Shah got a title of Rangila. Ahmad Shah was even one step ahead in his sensual pursuit and extended the harem, a separate place for concubines, wives of emperor, to a very large area where he spent weeks or months. In administration he also took equally foolish decisions. Thus successors were evidently weak, and the huge task of managing such a vast Mughal empire was far beyond their capacity. Degeneration of Mughal nobility. There was also the degeneration of the Mughal nobility. When the Mughals came to India, they had a hardy character, but too much of wealth, luxury and leisure softened their character. Their harems became full. They got wine in plenty. They went in palanquins to the battlefields. Such nobles were not fit to fight against the Marathas, the Rajputs and the Sikhs. The Mughal nobility degenerated at a very rapid pace. The chief reason for the degeneration of the nobility was that gradually it became a closed corporation. It gave no opportunity of promotion of capable men belonging to other classes as had been the case earlier. The offices of the state became hereditary and the preserve of people belonging to a few families. Another reason was their incorrigible habits of extravagant living and pompous display, which weakened their morale and drained their limited financial resources. Most of the nobles spent huge sums on keeping large harems, maintaining a big staff of servants at sea, and indulged in other forms of senseless show. The result was that many of the nobles became bankrupt in spite of their large jagirs. Dismissal from service or loss of jagirs spelt ruin for most of them. That promoted many of them to form groups and factions for securing large and profitable jagirs. Others turned themselves into grasping tyrants who mercilessly fleeced the peasants of their jagirs. Many nobles became ease-loving and soft. They dreaded war and became so much accustomed to an extravagant way of life that they could not do without many of the luxuries even when they were on military campaigns. The Mughal nobility was corrupt and fact-ridden. By giving suitable bribes, any government rule could be evaded and any favor secured. The interests of the Mughal Empire did not appeal to them. The British regularly bribed Mughal nobles for getting their work done. Even the highest nobles took bribes which were called peshkash or presents. That lowered the tone of administration. With the passage of time, corruption and bribery increased. Later on, even some of the Mughal emperors shared the money which their favorites charged as peshkash from people desirous of getting a post or seeking a transfer. Factionalism kept on growing till it extended to all branches of administration. The two major causes of functionalism were struggle for jagirs and personal advancement, and struggle for supremacy between the wazir and the monarch. Thus faction fights weakened the Enter-Interfraunadia, gave a chance to the Mara court politics and prevented the emperors from following a consistent policy. Factionalism became the most dangerous bane of the Mughal rule from 1715 onwards. To save themselves from these faction fights, the Mughal emperors depended upon unworthy favorites, and that worsened the situation.